Alright, so in this tutorial of Flywheel, what I'm going to do is make a new site after we've already installed and stuff. I did make this example in the previous tutorial, but this one I'm just going to kind of start fresh, make it a little bit more in-depth, and then be basically set up to make the entire site. So first thing I want to do is I open up Local by Flywheel, and then I'm going to click on the little plus here to add a new local site. And I'm going to call this one, so my site is Teach Me Cone. So it's going to be Cone Me Teach. Okay. And the other thing I want to do is I want to make a folder for it. So I'm just going to do a new folder, and we'll just call it Cone Me Teach. All right. So that's where I'm going to save it. So Cone Me Teach. Hit the options, and this is fine for the thing here, but you can see right now it says local site, blah, blah, blah. I want to put it right on the desktop. That way it's just easier to get to, and I can transport it. Let me see, Cone Me Teach, select folder, beautiful. We don't need to use a blueprint. That all looks fine, continue. Preferred is fine, continue. And I'm just going to go ahead and do VCPU. And VCPU. Obviously you should have something better than that. And for my email, I'm going to go ahead and do jcone@cecil.edu because that's my actual email address, and we don't need the multi-site thing. And we'll hit add site, and this is probably going to take a little bit, so I'm going to pause it. When it's done, we will yeah, go ahead. Obviously it's going to ask for admin privileges and all that business. So you got to make sure that you allow that. Open that. Okay. So I'm going to pause it, and then when it's done, I will show you the next steps. All right. So it is now officially together. Yeah, the site's up, and that's good. It made all the folders and such. So now what we're going to do is if I hit view site, we'll see if I'm hit admin, which will pop open the admin part here. Hang on a second. What? It's okay. Come on, get out of there. I have multiple monitors. Okay. So if you remember, I said VCPU and VCPU, and I'll go ahead and have it remember me because I don't really care, and we'll save. There. Okay. All right. Yay. Okay, so the very first thing we need to do, if you remember, is basically install a theme. So to do that, I'm going to go to my appearance. I'm going to go to themes, like so. And I'm going to go to my site here, Teach Me Cone, and I had web design, and then it was last class 9. I had this link to basically suggested themes. You just go online and look up like themes that are great for this or great for whatever. I would just find something like that. So all right, let's do Shapely. This one looks fine. So Shapely is the name of it. All right. So but I would just suggest I wouldn't even look for it on in here. I would look for it on the internet. That's basically the theme of what I'm saying. So I'm gonna add a new theme. Okay. And it's going to have this featured section. You can see there's all sorts of them, and popular and what have you. I'm just going to go ahead and search for, what was it, Shapely, right? Shapely. And hopefully that will pop up. And let's see. That one's type it. There it is, Shapely. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and install that one. Because it's got a really nice landing page, right? There's like the home page that you land on, because it's one big image and then a little bit has like call to action buttons. So that's generally kind of what you want for a nice, like aesthetically pleasing page. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to do more or less a portfolio site. I'm going to do a portfolio site of my work and base it off of that. So I'm going to pause this while it's installing, and then I'll restart it once it's done installing. All right, so finish installing. I'm just going to go ahead and click activate. And give it a second. Come on. All right, so hopefully that's on there. Awesome. So that's the first thing you need to do is figure out your theme, right? That's funny, actually. Somehow knew where I got it from. Anyway, so I got that looks good. So the next thing I want to do after that is get my plugins. So I'm going to go plugins. Excuse me. I'm going to add some new plugins. Okay, so there's a couple in here that basically I want to add. So this Black Studio, let's see, and it's the tiny MCE widget is what I'm looking for. There we go. It's just a visual editor widget for WordPress. Basically, it'll have more options, so that will be good. Black Studio Touch, add support, navigation, drop-down menus on mobile. I don't really care about that. So that was one that I wanted. Oh, like that. Okay, but you can look at a bunch of these things that you would want to possibly do. The other thing I'm going to do is that page builder by site origin. Come on, Bessie. And there it is right there. Install now. Oh, you know what? I don't know if that other one installed because I didn't wait for it. Well, shame on me. I'm going to install this one now too. So you can see there's a bunch of different page builders, so it might be worth looking at these other ones. I just always use that one because that seemed to be the most popular. So we're going to install those, and let's see. I'm going to pause it while those install, and then I'll check to make sure that other thing installed. Alright, so then I want duplicate post. That's another one that's useful, so I'm going to go ahead and install this one. Duplicate post, install now. And then, so it's installing, and then next I would want title remover. That was useful too. So I'm going to do title remover. Title remover. And it gives you the ability to hide the title of any post or page. Yeah, that's also kind of useful. Now there's a bunch of other ones, and I might install more as time goes by because I'll realize I need something, but this is a good start anyway. So you can see it's not active. I'm just going to click on installed plugins over here, because I have a bunch of them I got to activate. You can see I installed them all, but none of them are activated. Rather than clicking on each one, I'm just going to go ahead and, actually I'll do this. Check to click on all of them, and then I'll choose activate and apply. And that should activate all of them. It'll make them so that they're actually functioning. And you'll see over here, like the Elementor one will pop up, and some of these other things might show up too. But we'll see after a while. Let's see. Okay. Maybe I'll pause this again, and then when it's done activating, we'll do the next step. All right. So yeah. So now those are all activated. That's looking pretty okay. So now what I want to do is I'm going to make a home page, and then after we do the home page, I'll show you what we want to do. So I'm going to go to Pages. Come on. All right, and you can see we have these two, like sample page and what have you. I don't really care about any of those. We're going to add new. And I'm just going to call it home page. It doesn't actually matter that we call it home page. It's just so that I know what it is, because we're actually going to allow it to be removed. That's why we did that title remover. All right, so I'm just going to call this one home page. All right, and you can see we have this page builder and all sorts of stuff. We'll click on page builder, and we are going to add a row, and I will make it a single row, and we'll insert, and then we will also add a widget. Okay, actually I didn't really explain that much. So we added a row, and I can add another row, it'll insert, and I can add a bunch of rows that way. Okay, I'm just gonna go delete that row. Yep. Okay, so I have this one row. Now I need to add a widget. So I made a row, but there's no there's nothing inside of this. So if I add a widget, it'll allow me to basically add stuff in here. So let's go ahead and let's see. Usually I do this arbitrary text, but let's try doing, you know, maybe the more correct way. So let's do image. So it displays an image, and edit, and I don't have a picture yet, so I gotta find a picture. And that's gonna take a while for some weird reason. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pause it, find a picture, and then I'll have that. All right, so I'm gonna add image, select files, and I already put it onto the desktop here. And where are you? This guy here. Okay, so it's just gonna be a picture. I'm just gonna put this as like my big picture, you know, that you have, like, you know, covering basically the screen, my large image. And we gotta wait for it to load. I'm not gonna have any, well, it's doing that. I'm not gonna have it do anything. So right now it has a custom link that'll, you can do media file, so it'll actually download it. Attachment page, I'm not sure what that one is, and a custom URL. I'm gonna do none. I'm gonna do full size, so 96 by 540 in this case. But I would just do full size, whatever your largest is. This is actually a little bit smaller than it should be, but it'll be fine for now. And I'll hit add to widget, and there's my image, and I don't want any title or links or anything like that, so I'm just gonna leave that like that and hit done. All right, and then you can see right now it says save draft or publish. I'm gonna go ahead and hit publish. Now, should take a second. I'm going to open this up, and then I'm going to go ahead back on the local here while that's doing whatever it does. I'm going to hit view site, and it should pop up here. All right. So by default, what it's going to do is it's using not this page. Just double check, make sure it's not working. It's gonna default to the blog, which I obviously don't want. I want to have a home page. So to do that, we need to set that up. Okay, so it looks like this. This is obviously not what I wanted. So I'm gonna go over here. I made a home page. It obviously needs more work and what have you, but it's here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to I'm going to go to, so I named it homepage. I'm going to go to my settings, and then we're going to do reading, which makes no sense to me, but go to reading. And we'll click on that. Have it take a really long time. Okay. And then your latest posts. See how the homepage is your latest post? That's why it's showing this. Like if I had a post, if you go to my posts, which are up here, you'll see there's one that says hello world. Obviously I don't want that. Okay. That's not by default. What I'd rather have is have a static page, and I could choose a post page or a home page, and obviously I want a home page. So all of your pages that you have will show up in here, and obviously I named that one home page, so I'm going to choose home page. And the rest of this I don't think I really care that much about. Yeah, so we'll save changes, and hopefully that will save the changes. And I'm going to exit out of that one that I had opened up before. As soon as this thing says it's good, I'm going to go ahead and go over here. Okay, so now if I click on view site, still is probably not going to look the way I want, but the default home page will be that page that we just made. So you can see, there you go. It says home page, and you get the idea. All right. Yeah, so we got that. A couple things I'd like to do is go to, well, anyway, before I set up some of that other stuff, what I want to do is set up a child theme. Okay, and basically what that will do is it'll allow me to add my own custom stuff on top of it. Okay, that we can add our own CSS and our own other things, because you can actually change the CSS and all that other business. There's a couple ways of doing it. You could do it through the visual editor up here, and you could also go to appearance and go to editor, I think. Let's see. It's going to take a long time. Because everything takes a long time. Come on. Alright, I'm just going to pop. Alright, so once I clicked on there, you can see, oh, it popped up this thing. So even it knows. What you want to do is actually make a child theme. Because what will happen is, I'll just hit understand. What will happen is if I change anything in here, so the way that this page is appearing is based off of what's in here, right? It has a style sheet, and that determines how it looks, which you're familiar with that by writing it yourself. And you can see it's just CSS, right? And that's fine. And you can go in here and you can change things. You can change the colors, you can change the font types, all sorts of stuff. But the problem is that let's say I do that, right? And I change this, and I go over here and I change this. If I update this theme, which you will probably do pretty often, what'll happen is it'll rewrite what you already put in there. So everything that you wrote will get replaced with the new version. So you don't want to actually do that. What you want to do is make a child theme instead. And basically what it is, it's a theme that runs on top of your other theme. So what WordPress will do is it will read this thing's theme first. In this case, it's Shapely, or whatever one you have downloaded. And then you create another theme that after it reads that one, it'll read the next one. And so anything that's in the new theme will supersede the previous, but it'll use that as the default. And so no matter how much that other one changes, yours will stay safe because it's not being... it's not going to be updated other than by you just manually writing it in. Okay, so to create a theme, we have to do this. You have to go to your folder that you made before. So let's close this out. So I made this one called Cone Me Teach. I'm going to open that up, make this big. Then you go to Apps, Public, WP Content. You'll see one that says Themes. And then we need to make 2 files. Okay. Inside of a child theme folder. So so you can see we have this one, Shapely 2015, blah 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 blah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a new folder, and I'll just call it let me see, what do I want to name this? We'll just call it My Child. Okay, so that way we know what it is. And then we need to make 2 files in here. We need to make a CSS file and a PHP file. Okay, so to do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and use what was that? Visual Studio Code. And that, for whatever reason, popped up over there. And what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 separate files. And let me exit out of that. Don't save. And we'll exit out of that. We're going to make 2 separate files, and they're going to go inside of this My Child theme that's inside or My Child, that's my personal theme that's going to go inside of there. Okay, so we'll do File New File. All right, and this is what we need to write. Okay, we need to write, and it's got to be written just like this. I'm going to do Control++. Oh, good, it does work. Okay, and let's exit out of this. Oop. Okay, hopefully Control+. Try to get this as big as possible so you guys can see it here. And I don't need this right now. Okay, so it's got to be written like this. It's got to be theme, capital T, name, capital N, colon, and then the theme parent name. So in this case, it's Shapely. So I'm just going to click on it and just hit Control-C or Command-C so I can copy that name. So it's going to be then Control-V, so Shapely, and then I'm just going to write child. Okay. Then the theme URI. Okay. And then it's going to be the theme. Let's see. It's going to be like this. Nope, not that. There we go. Not brackets, but I don't know what those called. But they're like brackets. Straight braces? Is that what's called? Braces, maybe? So it's theme, parent, site, origin. Like that. Alright. So Oh, actually, I forgot one other thing too. Above this, sorry, this is actually all going inside of a comment. All right, and this is going to be our CSS description. This is going to be our CSS sheet that we would add our own custom CSS to. So description, and then theme. Okay. I'm just going to do this for now. So theme parent name child theme. All right. Enter. So theme child theme. Then it's going to be author, and it's going to be my name. So I'll say John Cohn. It'll be your name. Actually, you know, I'm going to keep to the thing we were doing before. So just because we're going to replace everything that's inside the brackets. Oops. Your name. Okay. And then author URI. And then it's going to be, oops, just like this, HTTP, and then it would be your site, so your site.com, and then template, and keep doing the wrong one, theme parent name. And then version, it's going to be 1.0.0, just because that's what our version is going to be. Enter, and then we just got to end the comment. Okay, so this isn't quite done yet because we actually have to do supposed to be theme parent origin. So some of this doesn't matter quite as much. So theme URI. So we'll replace this, and I'm just going to put what mine is. So it was Shapely. I don't really know much beyond that. Description, theme parent name. So theme parent name. So again, we're just going to write Shapely here. Shapely. Okay. And then author is going to be my name. So John Cohn. And then my site is Cohn Me Teach. Right now it's .local, but eventually it'll be .com. And then theme parent name for the template again would be Shapely. Okay. Now we need to save this. I'm going to save this as Control S. Do it this way. File. Control S is the same thing, or Command S. Save as, and then I'm going to go desktop, and I'm going to look for Cohn Me Teach, app, public, WP content, themes, Shapely. Oh no, sorry, not Shapely. Sorry, my child, and then this is going to be of the type CSS, and we're going to name it. We are going to name it style. Oops. Style.css, and we'll hit save. And it should, I mean, it's going to look like that because it's all one big thing. Then we're going to do another one, file, new file, and this one is going to be PHP. So boom. Okay, PHP. So kind of like PHP. So kind of like what do you call it? HTML. You have kind of like tags. All right, and we're just going to go ahead and do add underscore action, and the action we're going to add is going to be WP underscore NQ underscore scripts dot, or I'm sorry, not dot, like that. Dang it. Why are you not? That's what I wanted there. And then, oops, my underscore theme underscore NQ underscore styles. boom, boom, and semicolon. Alright, and I'm just gonna, put between that too, just to make it a little bit easier. And then we'll do another one called function my theme and Q styles, semicolon, and then we'll do WP and Q style, and Q style, and parent dash style get underscore theme template underscore directory underscore URI, like that, dot dot, and then get themes. I don't think that should be dot. And then style, or sorry, force. No, that should be dot. Dot. Boink. / style. Dot CSS. Boom and doom. Boom. Okay. And with this, I'm just going to go ahead and save this, Control S, and we're going to save this in the same thing. And this one's going to be a PHP document. Where are you, PHP? PHP. And this one should be called functions. Functions. And we will hit save. All right. So, just so you know, this code actually, and this is where I'm getting it, is right on my site. So if you go to class number 10, and all I've been doing is just basically writing this out in front of you, but you can, for the most part, just kind of copy and paste these in there, and that should give you what you need. Okay, but that's all I was honestly doing. So, because some of it's kind of, it's kind of things. All right. So basically, what it's doing is we're saying, okay, start PHP. All right, so this is meaning a PHP starting to be written, just like we do with HTML. It's like HTML starts here. And then we say add an action. And the action we want to add is going to be, we have to give it a name and then what it is. So this one I think is actually the action. And then this is the function that it's going to call. Okay, so it's going to basically saying I want it to upload a script. And the script I want it to upload is going to be this my theme and Q style. So basically, I'm just saying I want you to run this this function, and the function I want it to run is this one here. And when it calls that, it's going to go ahead and it's going to run this thing here. So all it's doing is it's saying I give it a name for the parent style. I want you to get the whatever, and this is where you would find it. Okay. So that should hopefully work. I might have messed that code up a little bit, but I think it's okay. Just double checking on my business there. That seems like that would be correct. Okay, so you just save that. That should be good there. And then the next thing I want to do is activate this into the child theme. So I'm gonna go over here, and so like I said, we don't want to use this. I'm gonna go to appearance and then themes. And hopefully it doesn't take 30 years. It took 30 years last time. I'm just going to pause it while it gets there. Oh, never mind. Popped right up. Okay. Oh, and then there you go. Look, you can see it popped right up here. So it says Shapely Child. All I'm going to do is basically add that one on there. And I'm just going to hit activate. Come on. Activate. Oh, there you go. It is going. Okay. And I'm going to give it a second. I'm going to pause it while it activates. Alright, so now this one's active. And if I go here and refresh it, you're going to see, bam, it's not going to work. Oh, hang on a second. Oops. Let me just Control S. I tested it a second ago. Now if I go bam, it should not work. It's going to be all like, blah, I hate you. Okay. And the reason why is that I was looking at it, so it actually tells me, fatal error, uncaught error, call to undefined function, get theme template. So that's what it didn't like, right? So I did a boo-boo here, and I did get theme template. It's just supposed to be get template directory. I don't know. I'm even looking at the thing I got it from. I don't know where I got that. So you just have to go back to that functions PHP and just make sure it says get template. So I apologize. And then if we refresh it now, after, I think I saved that. Make sure you save it afterwards, obviously, otherwise it does nothing. You'll see it kind of looks exactly the same, which is what should happen. Because now what's happening is that this is the theme that's being called. But what happens is through this function here, is that it actually calls that other this is actually going to call the other theme after that one gets caught, or after that one gets called. So it's going to call this one after that one. So now if I go and do anything inside of here, right? So watch, I'll do background hyphen, or actually, sorry, I got to apply that to something. Let's do body, and we'll just do background color, and let's do bisque. We'll do bisque. Okay, like that, and I'll just hit file save. All right, so now I can basically put in my own custom CSS here, and if I, oops, not there, sorry, refresh it here, you'll see that now the background is bisque. Okay, so now we can basically, just like we did before, I can go right ahead in here and just change this file, and it will read that, and I can put in my own custom CSS, which allows for a lot more flexibility. And this is the difference between being, you know, someone's just going to use WordPress or somebody that's going to do something a little bit more with it. Okay, so you can see like that works pretty good. So that's okay. Yeah. So let me see. What was? I want to see what the assignment is. Final project homepage. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it there, because what we did is we got everything, I think, set up to make the website, but it's obviously not really functioning the way we want. Just a couple more things, actually, I just want to make a point about. So if you, if I go to my site here, right? So this is the site. That's the folder that I put it in. You can see it's got all the business in here. When I first made my site, if I go to apps, public, content, you'll see themes, and then you'll see my child, and then you'll see Shapely. And then if I click on this one, you'll see those are the two files that we have. And so every time that you want to do something like custom, what you would do is you would go right in here, and you would put in your own custom CSS right in there. So I would just open this up. I think I might be able to actually do it in here as well. If I go to the editor. Although it's so slow in here, I usually just suggest doing it in here. But all you got to do is basically just open that up. I would just open this up, you know, where is it? There we go, open with, and then just open it. I'll just open a WordPad so you can see what I'm saying. And then you would just add your, you know, you just add after, leave this alone, that's got to stay there. After that, you just add in your own custom CSS, and then you can make whatever you want, all right? But you should also be able to do it in, not there, this one. Here we go. You can also type it in here and then hit update file. So especially once you've uploaded your site onto the internet, you're not really going to have very easy access to those files. So you can actually just right inside of the editor, you can type right in here, and you could just hit update file, and that will update the CSS and so on and so forth. Okay. So you can see this child theme inherits templates from a parent theme, Shapely. So you get the idea. Anyway, just make sure you got Shapely child and not Shapely, or whatever yours is. You know, yours should be the child one. All right, and that's it. So in the next video, we'll actually make this not look so bad. All right.